In this movie, I'm going to explain the purpose of interaction communication diagrams, usually referred to just as communication diagrams. Communication diagrams are part of a family of diagrams that can be used to model the interaction in a system, including sequence diagrams, timing diagrams, and interaction overview diagrams. Effectively, communication diagrams model the same dynamic aspect of the system as sequence diagrams, but because of the way they're laid out on the page, we tend to use them for slightly different purposes. So why would you produce communication diagrams in a project, and what value do they deliver? In summary, the reasons would be to provide a view of the interactions within the system at a variety of levels, to support use cases by detailing the interaction from an analysis perspective, and to build up class diagrams from robustness analysis diagrams of individual use cases. Let's look at each of these in turn. Communication diagrams are used to model interaction between different elements of the system. Those elements can be high level, like components or subsystems within the system. For example, you might model the interaction between clients and a server in this way, or between the sensors, controller, and devices in the home automation system. They can also be used to model the interaction between active objects, that is, objects that run on their own thread of control and that communicate with one another by message passing. Often they're used to analyze the interaction within use cases, particularly where use cases are used as a starting point for class analysis as part of the robustness analysis approach. They can also be used at the level of operations, where the invocation of an operation on one object results in complex interaction with linked objects. Where communication diagrams are used with use cases, they're usually used to explore what objects will be required to deliver the functionality of the use case. That can be either at the level of the interaction between the user and the system, or within the use case in response to events such as the user clicking the Submit or OK button, modeling the interaction that then takes place. Whereas sequence diagrams show the interaction in time sequence down the page, communication diagrams show the sequence of messages by numbering them. The objects are laid out in the diagram in a way that is close to the layout of class diagrams. The robustness analysis approach uses this to create communication diagrams for all the use cases and then consolidate them into one or more larger class diagrams. So in this movie, we've looked at the purpose of communication diagrams and the role they play in helping the analyst to explore what objects will be required to deliver the functionality within a particular use case. They model the same aspects of the system as sequence diagrams, but are typically used differently.